Well, Bernardo, are you at liberty to talk a little bit about the game you're working on now?
Yeah, yeah. I actually, well, I mostly heard back from a lot of publishers that it won't happen, that it won't be published by them, and that's fine. I think that like I probably should have searched for publishers earlier. That's something that people don't know. You generally want to have a very good vertical slice to present to publishers. But yeah, I'm making a game that originally was a student project of mine, and it was a very simple game at the start. It was a reinterpretation of Bomberman. It was kind of like the idea was that it was a top-down thing, and you had these little like characters that at the time were just sprites that didn't even animate. And you place bombs, and the difference with Bomberman was that the bombs were radial, were like circles. So it was like you'd have to use kind of like the shadows of the geometry of the
Mm.
environment to yeah cover to save yourself from the explosions, like shockwaves. And yeah, eventually we're like I it was not my thing. This was my partner's idea, my Australian half in Raptus. He liked the game and thought, "Hey, we're still a little bit like fresh into this game dev, so why don't we do that in 3D?" And we started doing it, and yeah, it kind of grew and grew, and it became more of a different game. It has a versus mode still. It has that sort of like Bomberman, I guess, quality to it still, but it's a very very different game. It's closer to a kind of Mario Metroidvania. We spoke about it. It's it reminds, well, your comparison was actually very good of like that the 3DS Mario game. What I forget what the name of it is, but
Mario 3D World or Land,
3D
depending on which
World.
one. 3D World
yeah,
was on the Wii U. 3D Land was on
right.
the 3DS.
But it's kind of more of an almost isometric. You don't really control the camera direction, but it's very like puzzle focused. A lot of like platforming, a lot of of what's it called, like larger
Areas.
puzzles, yeah, areas, and it's kind of almost open worldish, which is not evident at the start. I guess it's presented as more of a sports game, as a cybernetic sports game where robots like fight in arenas to get the sponsorship of future brands.
That's perfect. Just tell the publishers it's a live service game and then flip a dime on them at the end. They'll have no idea. Somebody will pay
I
for it.
wish.
Somebody will be like, oh, we don't have 10 of them in development. Why not have 11?
I wish. I wish about the. I honestly like the issue is that like actually, and the reason why all of these like live service games are such a struggle to make is because it's actually big fuckery to make any of them happen. Like it's a lot of work, and even simple small games turned into games as a service require a ton of like more planning and back end and things that are not necessarily game development in the back end. Well, which I guess now are part of game development, but like there's more business into the machinations of how progression work and how characters like players interact. It's just it's a lot.
Yeah,
It's a lot.
we're going to get into that in a little bit too. That's going
Yeah.
to be
Yeah.
coming up shortly.
Uh,
When we spoke earlier too, before we recorded, you mentioned that you applied for ID at Xbox to try to get your dev kit. Are you allowed to talk about that at all, or is that like
Uh,
NDA? Or like what can you and can't you say? Well,
no, I
obviously
mean
you're not going to talk about what you can't say, but what can you
no,
say?
of course. No, I can like at least give advice about it because a lot of people think that it's a lot more complicated than it is. Um, Generally, the process is actually quite easy, especially now. You can basically do all of it online. You simply have to contact them and send them a build of your game with like ideas, like videos or concept art, and it can be pretty early and request access to their dev kits and stuff, and they will generally, if it's a decent looking idea. They will send dev kits to you. You do need to be incorporated, so you have to be a company. That's one thing. But
Gotcha.
other than that, like it's fairly easy, and they will send over dev kits, and they will give you the option to make your game in their platform. And well, of course, every single account is handled differently depending on like if I don't even know like if my game will end up like in Game Pass or something. I think I every those things are case by case.
Right.
But yeah, I think the experience has been pretty good. It's a lot more opaque in PlayStation and well, no, apparently Nintendo's actually pretty straightforward now today.
That's good. That's
But,
awesome, man.
yeah,
So it
Cool.
sounds like it's a good place to be at this time. Do
yeah,
you typically pay
yeah.
for dev kits though, or do they like? I know you said like Xbox is providing you with it, but what about Sony and Nintendo? Do you have to pay for those dev kits, or?
I know that Sony is like would have sent it to us for free, but in the case of our situation, because I was in Chile at the time, you have to pay for import fees because it is a
Mm,
product that's
Mm.
just so. And since they are quite expensive, I remember I don't know at the time, even if it was like maybe 19% of the price, it was something like $500, which is not nothing for an indie, you know.
yeah, no doubt.
So, but like I think that nowadays they this was again 12 years ago, 10 years ago. Uh, Probably they might have streamlined things more now because I had I don't
Are
quite
you
know.
are you trying to focus primarily on like PC and Xbox, or are you trying to also go on PlayStation and Switch, or what?
I mean, I feel like no PC and Xbox is the way to go currently for me. I don't really have the bandwidth. That's one of the reasons why I was looking for publishers because it is my game is a bit more complex than a bit more is an understatement. It's orders of magnitude more complex than my previous game. So I know the difficulties of porting it and making it into a product for just one platform. So looking at it now, I just don't think I have the bandwidth to do it in more than one platform. If once it's released has some like the success that I expect and hope, I can do it. If I had a publisher, maybe they would help out. But currently, yeah, it's the only way to do it. So like, hmm, yeah, self publishing is the it's a reality of self publishing.
Hey, I mean that there could be positives to that, right? If you're a self-publisher and
Yeah,
that game blows up, it's going to be really good for you.
yeah,
Definitely.
it's all your money. Because yes, everyone takes a cut. But yeah, definitely that could happen. But it is a lot harder. I do think that there's like looking at it now and knowing the things that I know about the business and stuff. It's marketing and just knowing the right people is probably more important than the quality of your game. Oh shit.
I think that's true in most facets of life. You know, like I think a
Yeah,
lot of
it's
people
true.
get promoted from who they know, not what they do.
Absolutely.
Like,
Like the movies that get made are just the hands you've greased.
yep,
Which I guess too bad.
yeah,
But
maybe not
I mean
totally
that's
that,
also
but
a
it's
reality.
certainly a big hand that's played.
Yeah. And I guess yes, a lot of big budget, huge things still crash and burn. And yeah, one expects that at least quality saves you from that, right? No matter where you are. If you do get a good deal or a bad deal, at least the quality will probably put you towards the head of your options.
No doubt.
Right.
And how many hours would you say the game is if you had to guess? Because I know there's mostly a single player game now, even though it has the
Yeah,
multiplayer assets and stuff in there.
yeah. There's well, it varies a lot because my game I have a bad tendency to make things that are very difficult. So I can probably finish it in somewhere like 3 hours,
Okay.
fully finish it. But from playtesting from people that have been trying it, I'd say that it's closer to 15 hours.
Oh wow.
Mm, okay.
Okay.
And and if it's like if you complete it, yeah, definitely if you complete it, I would say no shorter than 15 hours. But like even the basic non-true ending, I'd say it's probably closer to 12, 15 hours. Yeah.
Did you want to talk about the name of the game, or are you not ready to do that yet?
Right.
Or do you want to
I
talk about any other details around the game?
I mean, no, I'm happy to. The thing is that I actually had forgotten about it because I recently changed the name of the game. I don't know if it was a smart move, but it was called NBB Arena, which it's an what's it called when it's the name of NBB? It's an
An
anagram. No,
acronym?
not
Mhm.
Acronym.
acronym. It's an acronym. But it was very generic. It just sounded like nothing. It is a sports like acronym, NBB Arena. That's what I wanted it to sound like, but people were like reading it as too bluntly that, like just like NBA kind of like a thing, which with the image, with the look of the game, kind of you can tell that it's maybe too misleading. So I've changed the a lot of the graphics in the game as well to name it NBB.exe now. It's called, like, because it kind of goes more into what the game is actually about, kind of starting the mystery of like it is a virtual reality environment, sort of. It's the game presents that pretty early, that it's not like the sports metaphor is just there very much as a metaphor. It's kind of it goes under it goes under the surface very quickly. So yeah, NBB.exe, and it's a top down puzzle platformer action with a lot of different
Everything you like in a
different
game.
I mean, and maybe everything you hate. It's tricky. It's a tricky game. I have seen people rage quit at my game, and so yeah. But it also has some multiplayer and like easier ways around certain of the challenges. Like a lot of the challenges can be done in multiplayer, and they sort of break the game. And I've decided to leave a lot of the breaking of the game in because I think it's fun. Like if you can find the thing that like just skips the sequence, go ahead. Like do it. Like
Speedrunners will have fun with that.
I thought that that'd be a fun thing. So yeah, it's a it's I hope that people will see kind of like the depth of it, because it's a much more like, I don't know. You said you hadn't had you played Tunic or not, or you hadn't played
Not
Tunic,
yet. I had
but
it
that was
downloaded, but I haven't played it yet.
yeah, that was a big inspiration because in the surface it's just kind of like a cute Zelda like Tunic, but when you go deeper, it has a lot of Souls mechanics as well, but it also has a lot of interesting implications of narrative or of the world, of what it means in the world, the different mechanics. So yeah, that's kind of where what I was going with it. It's much closer to a like to that Fez, that puzzle game, than to just like a quick like skill based Mario in some
when
ways.
when do you think this game would be out? Like when would you like to have it out by? Christmas this year, maybe?
About I'm looking at the year honestly, and right
Okay.
now the game is ready. It's kind of ready. There's things to do, like, but smaller things, like achievements for different platforms and that sort of thing. Make sure that the performance is good for all the different. But so more than anything, I'm just looking for there not to be nuclear bombs in the direct proximity of my launch. Although it's an indie game, like of course it would affect me if like a Zelda came out next to it. But
Mhm.
most of the time, it does move in completely different circles, right? Like the
Yeah.
people that are interested in a game like mine are not likely to be the people that are gonna be buying a Call of Duty, or I don't know, or yeah, the Final Fantasy. Like it's and even if that's the case, it's a cheaper game. It's a shorter game. It's a game that can probably coexist with huge monsters. But yeah, it
I
also
hope you get it on Game
Nice.
Pass, man. I think that'll be a huge boon. You know, it's going to get a lot of eyeballs on that. Even the people that don't have Game Pass might be interested at that point. I think that's a great
Yeah.
option.
yeah,
You know?
I'm working on it. I'm hoping that'll be an option. It requires some knowing people.
Knowing people, yeah, exactly. Who to talk to get the, just to
Yeah.
even probably get a discussion around it. I'm sure was challenging.
Yeah, but yeah, hopefully that'd be great. If it's not this year, it'll be very early next year. I want to really give it time to see if I can get maybe not publishers for development side, but publishers
Mhm.
for the marketing side if necessary. Like yeah, something something to really give it a fair shake in a way. Because if I
Right.
just put it out, it won't have the fairest of receptions. I know I've done it before.
Okay.
What are you talking about, man? Nothing gets buried on the eShop or on the
Yeah.
PlayStation Store or on Xbox. Nothing gets buried in there. No.
No, there's not a million games coming out every day. Yeah, it's kind of scary, but
Well,
I'm
the
sure. I'm
sad part
sure.
is half of those games shouldn't even be on there because they're
Oh
like
well, that
just pooped out overnight. Wait till AI takes off, man. They're gonna be pooping out stuff all over the place that nobody took the time to do anything with. You
no,
spent
yeah,
years on your game, and these people turn around games in 6 months.
that's scary, and it also is difficult. I imagine for the platform holders to like discern what is which.
They
Because I
should
think
do
that like
something about it.
yes, they should maybe get people that are actually playing the games for one. But yeah, I do imagine that like I like to think that my game looks better than a lot of those like I don't know idle clickers in those stores. But for I don't know for the people who review games for the store in PlayStation or in Xbox, I don't know. Maybe for them it's all the same. Like they see a hot anime lady and you have to have it.
I mean, that's half of it. The other half is the ridiculous names they come up with now. Like they just try
Yeah.
to hit all the SEO terms, so their name is like 40 words long. To try to get whatever they can off of search engine optimization, so their name appears when
I've
they.
seen that. Yeah.
It's like that doesn't even make any damn sense. It's like, what the hell's the title of your
Yeah.
game? Like, come on, man, it's ridiculous
Yeah.
crap.
Hot bikini party slasher AK-47. What?
It's absurd. But no,
Zombie.
I do hope your game rises above the rest because you certainly deserve it with the effort and time that you've put in so far.
I hope so. I'm really pretty happy with it. Yeah, quite proud of what it is now.
That's
Yeah.
cool. I look forward to trying it out. I really do.
Yeah,
I
can't
look
wait to get our
forward
hands on
to
it.
seeing you guys rage. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's fun.